What if I told you that this watch right here has dual band GPS, a built-in flashlight, military grade with an awesome display, and is only $70? The KOSPET Pulse 2 is that watch. I've been using the Pulse 2 for the past 2 weeks on my morning runs, workouts, day-to-day life, and hikes. And I tell you what, it's a pretty awesome watch. If you want to hang out with me, we'll go through the specs and everything on it. This is sponsored by KOSPET, and they did send me the watch for free, but they did give me my freedom to express my own opinion, and that's what you're gonna get. So right out of the box, you get the watch itself, a magnetic charging cable, the user manual, nothing complicated. First thing I noticed when I picked it up is it's really light. We're talking 40 grams without the strap. That's lighter than most watches I've worn in the recent little bit. It shows on the wrist, you forget it's there after 10 minutes. The build for this price point is great. Zinc alloy bezel, polymer body, Gorilla Glass face. It feels more premium than $70. And I'll be honest with you, I really didn't like the band, but it's a standard 22mm strap, so you can replace it with any band you find on Amazon or you like. All right, let's talk about the display now. It's very impressive. It's a 1.9 inch OLED screen. There's 1,000 nits of brightness. I'm not sure what that means, but if you're a tech geek, I'm sure that means a lot. I took it outside in Michigan summers when I was running and hiking, and you can see it with no problem. What really matters when you're on the trail is it tracks your with GPS, dual band GPS. You don't get the fancy on the screen display with the turn-by-turn navigation. It's not a really expensive Garmin watch. This is a better price point, and it does what it needs to do. When you need to look up your track that you just did, it's available on the app. Durability-wise, this thing is SGS certified. That's how they do testing for watches in Europe, and it kills it. It's got a 5 AMT rating and IP69 certification, which means it can handle swimming, rain, all kinds of waterproofing stuff. That means it's drop resistant, shock resistant, dust and water. I talked about the GPS. Again, I'm going to hit it again. It does have GPS for your sport modes, but again, it's not like you can't do turn by turn with it. It does have the tracking, which you can see later. So if you're on a hike or a trail run, you can come back and look at your track of what you did. And it's very accurate. Like I said, 2-band GPS. I used it on several hikes and several runs, and it worked great. It does have 170 sport modes. I don't use 170 sport modes. I think I use like 3. Trail running, hiking, and outdoor cycling, and lifting weights in the gym, which that took a little bit to find. You had to find the certain setting it's in, and I'll go through that on the screen.
So to get this into weightlifting exercise mode, you have to go into workouts, which is right there, and then you look how there's all these different workouts. You have to go to what was it, more workouts, and the top one is fitness and exercise. Of course, my time out on me. And then there's all different kinds of like training in here, and it says strength training right there. That is how you get into strength training. I know a lot of people that'll be one of the #1 things they use.
Health tracking. Important feature to me. I want to see my heart rate all the time. That is one thing you get on the screen. You get your heart rate, your steps, all that on the same screen. A lot of watches I've worn, you can't get all that information on the screen. You get bits and pieces of it. But this one, you can have all that on the display, that every time you look at it, it tells you heart rate 73, I have 15,000 steps today, and I'm burned a few thousand calories. One thing on here that I have to say is awesome, and I think I've seen it on a few other watches. I've never had a watch with it, but there's a little flashlight on this watch. It takes like 2 seconds to turn on and find. It's really easy to find, and I use it in the morning when I come out of the shower and I don't want to wake my wife because she's sleeping and our bedroom's dark. I'll turn it on to get clothes out, or if I'm taking the trash down to the curb, I turn the flashlight on so I have a way to see in the dark. Best tool ever. It's awesome. As for the battery, I think it lasts pretty well. I get 5 or 6 days, but I use the always on display, and that's supposed to be the most taxing on the battery. I haven't tried it without the always on display because I like to have it on. I do find a workaround to charge. I found this with all my watches I do. When I get in the shower, I charge it. So while I'm 10-15 minutes in the shower, I charge it, and while it's doing that, it gives it a good 20 to 40% of battery back. And then if I'm going to do a long run or something like that, I'll charge it prior to doing that. But day-to-day life, I will jump in the shower, throw the watch in the charger, and when I get out, I back to 80% at least most of the time. So that's my workaround. I think the battery life lasts just as long as any other good watch out there. I have a Garmin and a Suunto, and it lasts just as long as they do. Who is this watch not for? This watch would be not for someone who wants to track your metrics or your analytics seriously, like super tight. If you're training for a race or an elite athlete, this would not be a watch for you. But for hikers, overlanders, just using this every day, this watch definitely earns the spot. At the price point, you can't beat it. Click the link below for purchase. They drop July 21st. Check them out. It's a really awesome watch for the price.